Okay, so in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to take an STL file from Thingiverse, modify it using some text from Tinkercad, and then get it ready to 3D print. So the first thing I want to do is go to Thingiverse and find a file that I like and want to modify. Okay, this is a phone case for my phone, so I'm going to modify this. I'm going to download all files. Okay, when I do that, I see a zip file pop up in the bottom of my browser. I want to click on that zip file, navigate to the file that I want, specifically this STL file, and I'm going to drag that onto the desktop. Okay, mine's asking this pop up because I already have a copy there. I don't want to copy it. I know it's already there. Okay, but I want to drag it to the desktop so it's available. All right, once I've done that, I go to my Tinkercad file. Okay, I'm not going to show you how to make this. You all already know how to do that. Okay, but once I have this file, I also want to go ahead and export this for 3D printing, making sure that I have a title that's meaningful. That way I can find it. So I go to export, and when I choose a .stl file, .stl, and then that should also download down here in the bottom left of my browser. Okay, once I have my files, go to Fusion, have a new design. I'm going to go ahead and save this design as my LG G5 phone logo, or phone case with logo. Okay. Once I've excuse me, once I've saved my file, I go to my units. I want to make sure I'm in millimeters in this case, because I know that my original file was in millimeters. And then I want to right click on document settings and make sure it says capture design history down here. If it doesn't, so let's say I right click and it says do not capture design history, I want to click that so that it does not capture design history. So right click, this is what it should say. It should say capture design history. All right. Now I can go ahead and insert a mesh. And a mesh is the STL file that we just downloaded. So I insert mesh, and then I can find my phone case model that I just put on the desktop. Press open, and my phone case pops right into place. Unit type millimeters. I want to go ahead and move it to the ground. Actually, no, I'm just going to rotate it the other way. I want to rotate it back by 90 degrees. So let's go -90. All right, that way it lies flat. All right, that's my mesh body. Okay, now before we can actually start doing things to this mesh body, we have to convert it to what's called a B-rep body. All right, so if I right click on the mesh body, right click over here, there's an option that says mesh to B-rep. Mesh to B-rep. This will turn it into an object that we can do all of our normal operations on. We can extrude, we can cut, we can build new things off of it, we can modify it. As a mesh, we can't do much. So I want to right click and go mesh to B-rep. I selected this body, operation new body, that's okay, so I click OK. Oh, looks like I got a warning. So it says this mesh contains a large number of facets. Proceeding will result in slow performance. Conversion is not recommended. So if I get that conversion is not recommended, I need to modify this mesh before I can convert it. So I'm going to click on my mesh. I want to go to the mesh workspace now. I want to go to modify, reduce. That'll reduce the number of faces. Okay, I want to reduce it by 0.4. Preserve my boundaries because I want all these lines to still be there. Adaptive type, and press OK. And what this should do is reduce the number of faces I see on my mesh body. So now, when I go back to the model workspace, click on my mesh, right click, and do mesh to B-rep, it should convert a little easier. So I press OK, there's no error message. It's taking a little bit of time to compute. I'm going to give it that time. Be patient. I see it's loading down there. All right. And I can see it shifted, and I know it's a body now because over here it says body 1. So I'm actually going to name that my phone case so I know what it is. All right, so now I have a phone case, and I can modify this, right? So say I wanted to create a hole somewhere. I can click on this surface and draw a sketch, maybe sketch a rectangle. Okay, stop my sketch, and then I can extrude through and cut that out. So now that it is a B-rep body, I can modify it however I want. Alright, so I'm going to undo those things. Okay, and that's how you get a model into your workspace and then convert it into a B-rep so that you can modify it. That's the first part of this lesson.